What's going on, DJ Talk family, and how y'all doing tonight? First of all, welcome to the 92nd episode of DJ Talk. Now, before we get started, I would like to take this time to send a special shout out to everyone. And I mean everyone. Because you know why I say special? Because you guys are all special. All y'all in DJ Talk family, D Nation family, you guys are all special. And hopefully y'all are having a great week, but most importantly, hopefully y'all are having a winning week, and hopefully you succeed in whatever you need to succeed in. So anyway, if you are new to this channel, allow me to welcome you guys to D Nation family. Hopefully you'll enjoy it here. So with that being said, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, but most importantly, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, and many more episodes to come, many more contents to come, but most importantly, many more episodes to come. So stay tuned for more. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to take accountability. That's a very interesting topic, wouldn't you say? So, question. What does it mean to take accountability? Like I said before, very interesting, but also a very interesting question. It means to take responsibility for what happens, good or bad. You don't blame others if things go wrong. The quality or state of being accountable, especially an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. There are multiple quotes that speaks about how to take accountability, and it goes something like this. Number 1, Gandhi. It is wrong and immoral to seek to escape the consequences of one's act. 2, Courtney Lynch says, leaders inspire accountability through their ability to accept responsibility before they place blame. 3, Stephen R. Covey says, accountability breeds responsibility. 4, David Brin says, when it comes to privacy and accountability, people always demand the former for themselves and the latter for everyone else. 5, Brene Brown says, when we fail to set boundaries and to hold people accountable, we feel used and mistreated. This is why we sometimes attack who they are, which is far more hurtful than addressing a behavior or a choice. Number 6, Mollering says, it is not only what we do, but also what we do not do, for which we are accountable. Number 7, Thomas Paine says, a body of men holding themselves accountable to nobody ought not to be trusted by anybody. Number 8, Sigmund Freud says, most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Number 9, Jeffrey Benjamin says, accountability is the measure of a leader's heights. 10, Doug Larson says, the reason people blame things on the previous generation is that there's only one other choice. 11, Steve Maraboli says, take accountability. Blame is the water in which many dreams and relationships drown. Number 12, George Washington Carver says, 99% of all failures comes from people who have a habit of making excuses. Number 13, Lou Holtz says, the man who complains about the way the ball bounces is like to be the one who drops it. Number 14, Pat Summit says, responsibility equals accountability equals ownership. And a sense of ownership is that the most powerful weapon a team or organization can have. Number 15, once again, Steve Maraboli says, wisdom stems from personal accountability. We all make mistakes. Own them. Learn from them. Don't throw away the lessons by blaming others. 16, Winston Churchill says, the price of greatness is responsibility. I'll repeat it again for the people in the back that didn't hear it for the first time. The price of greatness is responsibility. Number 17, Joe Dumars says, a good team's coaches holds players accountable. Great teams, players hold players accountable. Number 18, John D. Lemmy says, accountability separates the wishers in life from the action takers that care enough about their future to account for their daily actions. 19, Michael Korda says, success on a major scale requires you to accept responsibility. In the final analysis, the one that all successful people have is the ability to take on responsibility. 20, Carl Levin says, restoring responsibility and accountability is essential to the economic and physical health of our nation. Number 21, Henry Cloud says, if you are building a culture where people's expectations are communicated and peer accountability is the norm, then the group will address poor performance and attitude. Number 22, Brené Brown says, when we fail to set boundaries and hold people accountable, once again, if the people didn't hear it for the first time, we feel used and mistreated. This is why we sometimes attack who they are, which is more hurtful than addressing a behavior or a choice. Number 23, Mina B says, being held accountable is an act of generosity and compassion. It is a gift that someone gives us to correct our wrongs, unlearn, and do better for the sake of our own growth. It may be uncomfortable, but it is worth the discomfort. 24, Bell Hooks says, forgiveness and compassion are always linked. We hold people accountable for wrongdoing, and yet at the same time we remain in touch with their humanity enough to believe in their capacity to be transformed. And last but not least, number 25, Whitney Goodman says, you're going to mess up. So instead of trying to be perfect, learn how to be accountable. So you see, if we can learn how to take accountability of our actions and try to do things the right way, we can do greater things in life. I mean, not just any greater things, but we could do a lot of great things in life. Like, take for instance, we can build ourselves up, we can build confidence, we can build our reputation the right way, but most importantly, we need to hold ourselves accountable of what we do. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we just have to learn certain things, you know? Like, take for instance, I'm going to use an example right now. Let's say you want to learn how to drive a car. And for all the young people out there, let me let you in on a little something. You say you want to learn how to drive a car, you have to hold yourself accountable to drive a car. Like, you got to take action and responsibility to drive a car. Like, take for instance, if you're going to turn left, right? And then somebody is behind you honking the horn and you're trying to find out what to do, you can't blame that person for being distracting you. You have to hold yourself accountable and say, you know what? I'm gonna make this turn and I'm not gonna worry about anything else except take responsibility of what I do. So, like I said, turn left and then go straight. Just the directions that we need to take in life. So before I wrap up this episode, I just want to say a few things. And hopefully you'll be touched by this. Learn to hold yourself accountable of your actions and stand by on what you say and go to that direction. I'll repeat it again. Learn to hold yourself accountable of your actions and stand by on what you say. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I appreciate the love and support. We got many more episodes to come, so stay tuned for that one. But most importantly, stay tuned for the next episode of DJ Talk. Stay positive and never give up. Peace out and have a good night, everybody.